Hello friends, welcome you all to my YouTube channel Be With English. Macbeth is a landmark play of William Shakespeare. Today I am going to summarize the play. William Shakespeare, the writer of this play. He is an English playwright, poet and sonneteer. He was born in England in 1564 and died in 1616. He is England's national poet and known as Bard of Avon. He wrote 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and 3 long narrative poems. This play or drama is a tragedy, published in 1606. It is named after its protagonist, Macbeth. It has 5 acts or sections. This play is so popular that it is studied as a part of world literature. It is a tragedy of ambition that leads to serial murders and psychological disorder. We see that at the very beginning of the play, in an open place, 3 witches or supernatural beings meet together in thunder and lightning. The witches plan to meet again in thunder, lightning, and rain. In fact, they plan to meet Macbeth. Macbeth is the main character or protagonist of this play. He is the Scottish general of Duncan's army. Now he is in a battle. We understand that an unwanted and tragic incident is waiting for Macbeth. Duncan, the King of Scotland, is in a military camp with his officials. Actually, Scotland is in a war with its Irish rebels. Suddenly, a soldier enters the camp with the news of Macbeth's heroism in the battlefield. The king comes to know the betrayal of Thane of Cawdor. That is why the king declares the death sentence on him. Now, the king decides to reward Macbeth with this title. Here we see that the witches meet together again and meet Macbeth and Banquo when they are returning from the battle. Now Macbeth forces them to talk. At this, the first witch says that Macbeth will be the Thane of Glamis. Actually, Thane is an honorable position of any specific region. Macbeth knows that after the death of his father, he will be the Thane of Glamis. The second witch says that Macbeth will be the Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth knows that another person is holding this position right now. He thinks that it is impossible to be the Thane of Cawdor. Then the third witch says that he will be the King of Scotland. Macbeth thinks that it is also impossible because the king has 2 sons and they will be the king one after the other. His friend Banquo requests the witches to tell something for Banquo himself. At this, they say that Banquo's son will be the king of Scotland in future. Banquo observes that Macbeth gets afraid of the words of the witches. Besides, Macbeth keeps thinking over the issue. But Banquo does not believe in the words of the witches. In the meantime, Macbeth gets the news of being Thane of Cawdor because it is his reward from the King Duncan. He thinks that the words of the witches are true, and these words will be true in future because he has become the Thane of Cawdor within this time. Now Macbeth thinks that the third prophecy must be true. That means he is going to be the king. But he thinks that only by murder it is possible to be the King of Scotland. Here Macbeth and Banquo go to meet the King Duncan returning from the war. Duncan praises both Macbeth and Banquo for their loyalty and bravery. In the meantime, Duncan declares that his eldest son Malcolm will be the next King of Scotland. Now Macbeth realizes that Malcolm is a great obstacle to his dream. Duncan wants to visit the castle of Macbeth. Macbeth informs his wife Lady Macbeth through a letter that witches told him that he would be the King of Scotland. Macbeth advises her to keep it secret. Lady Macbeth also imagines to be the Queen of Scotland. She decides to motivate Macbeth for killing the King Duncan. By this time, Duncan arrives at the castle of Macbeth. Here, he is cordially received by Lady Macbeth, but we know that she is planning to kill him. Here we see that Lady Macbeth shows her anger with her husband Macbeth. She wants to kill Duncan very quickly, but Macbeth's conscience stops him to kill Duncan. He believes in the principle of crime and punishment. At this, Lady Macbeth criticizes his dream to be king. She inspires him to balance between desire and achievement. Now they are fully determined to kill Duncan. In this scene, we see that Macbeth meets Banquo in his own castle, when Banquo reminds the prophecy of the witches. But Macbeth pretends not to think of that issue. In this scene, Macbeth kills Duncan with a dagger in his castle. But Macbeth gets mentally weak after killing the king. We see that again Lady Macbeth encourages him not to worry. She places the dagger beside the unconscious guards. Because of mental pressure and guilt feeling, Macbeth says, "Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red." That means no great ocean can wash this bloody hand. In this scene, the sons of kings see that their father is killed. The guards are made responsible for the murder. We know that it is a conspiracy of Macbeth. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth pretend that they do not know anything of the murder. Rather, they lament over the murder of the king. Macbeth killed the guards to stop any kind of suspicion. The sons of king flee from the kingdom in fear of being killed. In the meantime, power goes to Macbeth and he becomes the King of Scotland.